Have you ever met someone who represented a company, an organization, or a family and thought, if that's what they are like, I want nothing to do with them? Well, that's the power of representing someone. You see, people often form their opinion of the person or organization we represent by watching us. Paul says, we are ambassadors for Christ. An ambassador is an official representative sent by one government to another country. They don't go there to promote themselves. They represent the one who sent them. And that's what Paul is saying about us. We represent God's kingdom. As Philippians 3:20 says, we are citizens of heaven. We live in this world, but our ultimate allegiance is to Christ. That means we don't represent our own agenda. An ambassador communicates the position of the government they represent. In the same way, our message shouldn't be what we think. It should be what the King of our kingdom says. And we represent him not only through our words, but through our character. Jesus said, by this all we know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. You see, our words, attitudes, relationships, integrity, and love should give people a glimpse of who Jesus really is. But there's another side to being an ambassador. We must not abuse the position we've been given. An ambassador who uses their position for personal gain is no longer faithfully representing the government that sent them. As believers, we can make the same mistake. We can use scripture to win arguments instead of winning people. We can treat our opinions as though they were God's opinions. We can become more concerned with proving we're right than representing Christ rightly. And when that happens, people may reject God because of our distorted representation of Him. That's why we should constantly ask ourselves, what picture of Jesus are people seeing through me? Being Christ's ambassador also means living in the world, but not of it. We live here, work here, and participate in society, but our deepest allegiance is to Christ. We shouldn't become so absorbed in earthly arguments, political or cultural pressures that we forget our primary mission. Paul says, we implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God. That is our message. Not hostility, not condemnation, not we are better than you, but come home to God. You know, there are people around us who may never open a Bible, but they are watching our lives. So, before you speak, respond in anger, or even post online, ask yourself, Does this represent Jesus? Because you're not merely representing yourself, you are an ambassador for Christ. So we must be people of truth without harshness, conviction without cruelty, holiness without self-righteousness, and love without compromising truth. Because an ambassador doesn't make the king look like himself, he makes the king known. So, remember who sent you, whose name you carry, and whose message you've been entrusted with. Wherever God has placed you, represent the King well.